Hello and welcome to all of you that are new onto the channel. My name is Rebecca and in this mini-series I'm talking you through how I use TaxDome in my bookkeeping and accountancy practice. Now, what I'm going to be showing you on screen is how to use something called Organisers in TaxDome. Now, all an Organiser is within TaxDome is essentially an online questionnaire that you're going to send out to your clients. And this can be in a number of different ways. So you could do it in the form of a self-assessment questionnaire, you could do it in the form of a VAT questionnaire, corporation tax, etc. Maybe at the moment you are a practice, or maybe you've not set up yet, but you're hoping to send out PDF documentation or emails for your client to complete. And that's perfectly fine, you can do that, and that's one way to run a practice. But as you're taking on more and more clients as time goes on, hopefully, then if you work with PDFs and emails, then you're going to end up finding that you're going to be spending a heck of a long time on simply the core admin work. So chasing clients, requesting information, saving that information down, and essentially just reviewing that information. And that, let me tell you, is going to take you a long time. So we want to avoid that if we possibly can. So I'm going to show you how I'm using these organisers in TaxDome. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now then, in TaxDome, just like everything else, there are templates that you can use in advance for these questionnaires. So I'll show you very quickly how you can just copy and paste a questionnaire into your template folder. So the way that this is set up is essentially that you've got templates for specific things. So like you can have templates firm-wide for emails, proposals, jobs, tasks, organisers, folders, you name it, you can have a template that's firm-wide. So you could use a specific template for, let's just say, bookkeeping, or a specific template for emails regarding information requests at year end, for example. And it's exactly the same when it comes to organisers. So if we just jump into templates here and we click on firm templates, this is going to show you, if I just go to organisers, what templates I've already got set up. And if I want to use those that are already in the library, I can go to copy from library. Let's just find one that might be appropriate here. So if I was to, let's see, obtain PAYE agent authorization organizer. So I just click on here, there. Now, this is perfect if you are setting up from scratch and you're not really sure how to set up, well, even your practice, to be honest. I know I found it very hard at first to think about what way I wanted to go and how I was going to set up those templates and what worked best in my practice. So this is going to give you that leg up to begin with. So what we've got here is client intake form, a PAYE agent authorization form, a corporation tax form, and a VAT form. So again, even though we're calling them organisers, they are questionnaires for all intents and purposes. So we could go in and rename that. So if we just click into the VAT organiser, we could take all of this out, should we wish to, and just call this a VAT questionnaire. Okay. So what this is doing here under organiser name, I'm just going to make this really big just so you can see it, is that is a shortcode. So if you see anything that looks like that with those brackets, then it's a shortcode. So this is called organiser name, VAT organiser, quarter ending in last month name. You could add others by simply hitting on add shortcode. Scroll down here and go to have current day full dates, current week, etc. There's other shortcodes in here, last quarter. So I'm going to actually say last quarter and I'm going to remove that. Okay, it's going to scroll down just to save it, because as with anything, you want to make sure that you're saving things as you go. If I scroll back out again here, what we can see is we've got numerous questions. So VAT position, and this is going to say to your client, this section will help us understand your VAT position before we start working on your return. Are you required to submit a VAT return? Yes or no? Are you above the VAT threshold? And there's an actual link here, and that's the other thing that I really like about TaxDome, which I must say this in every video, but it just doesn't get spoken about enough. There is pre-populated information in here to help you get started. So I like to give clients a link to various guidance. Whenever they've asked for information, I always send them the link to the Government Gateway or Government HMRC guidance that's there. So this already has that information there. So it's saying, are you above the VAT threshold? Here's a link just to check. Yes or no. And the beauty of that is, if that changes in a year, then you've got the most up-to-date link, essentially, with those up-to-date thresholds. So you're not having to type in, the VAT threshold is 85k, 90k, etc. And checking on that, which is, again, is another admin task. So we're removing the admin task for you, essentially, by doing it this way. So again, the way that TaxDome works is that we've got the option to add radio buttons, which is where we can ask our clients to hit yes or no. There's different options in there, so if I just click it on settings here, I can say that that is a required question, and if it's not filled in, it won't allow them to send this back. We can say it's conditional based on if we've asked a question up here and they've said yes, then it will only show if they've said yes. For example, we can add descriptions and tag-ins, but I'm just going to hit save to that. So next question, are you VAT registered? Yes or no. Are you MTD registered? Yes or no. When was your last VAT payment? So they would have to add in text in answer to these ones. So where we've got text entry, do you have any VAT liability, etc. So that's another thing that you've got the option to in here. So we can create a question, which is text entry, email number, date, radio buttons, checkboxes, drop downs, yes, no, or file upload. So at this point, we could say, right, file upload. So if I type in here, please upload your VAT registration certificate. I'm doing this left-handed, and I'm not left-handed. So there we go. And then they would have to upload that document. And I can say, this is conditional if, are you VAT registered? And the answer is yes. So if they say no, that question's not going to come up because it's just not applicable. So if we hit save, and again, save your work, that has now changed. So again, instead of you manually going to your clients when you're first onboarding them and asking them for this information, and in fact, I have to admit, there's been times in the past where I've then gone, oh, you don't have that information, and then I've had to request it via email. So by setting up this organiser, you're not going to have to do that manually via email or telephone, etc. going forward. So bank statements next. So here, this again is, in this VAT organiser, this is going to be requesting not just the information from the last VAT return and if they're VAT registered, the certificate number, all the rest of it. We're actually asking for information to prepare the first VAT return. So we're asking for this information promptly before it gets to a point where we've got to do the VAT return and everybody's panicking because we don't have all of the information that we need. So here we go. Bank statements. Please upload all your bank statements, and there's a file upload option. So you could actually say, please upload all your bank statements below for this quarter. And I think the best thing to do when you're running a practice or any single business of any kind in any industry is make things really clear. And I don't mean, some people say dumbing it down. It's not dumbing it down, it's making things very clear to avoid questions elsewhere. So if your client understands exactly what they need to do, they're not going to then ask another question which then takes up your time. Equally, if you've made it clear enough, then from your side, you're not going to be having to, again, explain yourself or ask additional questions where they might, for instance, upload the wrong information. So just bear that in mind. Keep everything simple. Simple, simple, simple. Invoice report. So I would probably change that to just purchase invoices. So if you didn't have a piece of software like QuickBooks, Xero, Free Agent, then you might want to go ahead and ask for invoices here. However, I don't want this section because all of my clients are on a piece of software. So I'm going to click delete because I don't want that section because it's not relevant. I can go into their piece of software and I can get that information. And if I don't have all the information, then I can deal with that at a later point. Expense record. So again, let's just imagine that this client doesn't have any expenses. Personal expenditure. So if they have personal expenditure, let's say that has been paid for by the business, then please upload. Okay, so then you're giving them the option to upload that credit card statement. So again, you may or may not request that information for the VAT return quarter end. Again, if you've got a piece of software that already has that information in there, then you may not request at this point, and I'm not going to. Updates from HMRC. So if you've received any informational letters from HMRC, then give us the details below. And I'll tell you, again, something that I learned early on when working with clients is that I've dealt with a few clients who will tell me after the fact that they've received a letter from HMRC. And often at that point in time, you're then scrambling to deal with that letter or to see what's come through. So again, if you've got a prompt like this very early on regarding the VAT, if they've received any letters at all, anything through the post that you've not yet received, because again, if you're onboarding a client at this point, then you're not going to be detailed as their VAT agent, for example. So if they've received anything, you want to know. So this is just a quick prompt, and they might say, no, I don't have anything. Fine, absolutely fine. But if you do, upload. And that's just going to make your life easier again. And then other, please outline any of information that might be relevant for us to complete your VAT return. So I would keep that in because, again, it's just a quick check to make sure that you've covered everything. So we'll hit save and save and exit. And if we go to the PAYE agent authorization, I'll just show you very quickly what this looks like. So this again, I am going to just change the name of it just to make it more standardized with what we have. PAYE setup, organizer, form details. So this outlines automatically, again, just from a template. Completing this form will allow us to communicate with HMRC on your behalf. Here's a few links, you can click into those if you wish to, regarding why we're requesting this information. Personal details, we need your full name, your business name, company information if relevant, your employer's PAYE and your accounts office reference. Again, something that is usually missed until you absolutely need it, and then it can take some time sometimes to obtain that information, or you just forget because you've got 101 different things going on. So again, if it's automatic, then the client will know and get prompts to input that information, so you then don't have to request that at a later time when it might just be a little bit inconvenient, or you might be on a deadline in terms of timing. So it's all there. Additional info. Please provide any additional relevant information relating to your PAYE. Now I might add to this, and I might just say under the section name, and I would call this outstanding PAYE. Again, this is just a personal choice, a question, checkboxes. Right, so do you, let's move my cup of coffee, currently have any large outstanding debt with HMRC regarding PAYE? Answer yes or no. Okay, and then I would say, if this is the case, please provide details. Okay, and it's as easy as that. So then this is great, and we've got, again, these templates in our library now as a practice owner. But how do we then add them to a client? Well, there's lots of different ways that you can do this, and actually you can bulk apply this. So let's go ahead and apply that to these two clients now. So we're going to move from templates and we're going to go to clients. We're going to just select all of our clients, and it's going to say more actions here, or you can send organizer, add job, manage team, manage tags. So we want to send an organizer. So if we click on the organizer template, which is VAT, we can preview what's going to be asked. So you can see here that if we go back, so I'm clicking ahead, we've got the questions that we've been asked, and we can say yes or no. Yeah, when was your last VAT payment? Do you have any VAT liabilities? Please upload our bank statements for the quarter. If you've got personal expenditure, upload those here. Have you received any letters? Add them here. Please outline any other info. So if we go back, we can just click X on here. And what we can do is we can say, right, I want a reminder to be sent out to the client. Days until next reminder, so let's say 7 days. Number of reminders, I'm going to ask for 2. So every 7 days there's going to be a reminder, or 2 reminders in this case, and we can create and send. Now we can check just to make sure that they have actually gone to the client by going into the client and going straight to Organisers. And that says pending. Now, when that has been done by the client, you can review this by just clicking into it. Or if they, for instance, not completed all of the answers and you haven't said it absolutely has to be filled in before sending, then you can go in and change the answers, and you can also seal it. Now, the great thing about that is you can stop then, by sealing it, you stop the client from editing any further answers. So you can say at this point in time, cut off, there you go. You can preview the history of it, you can print it, you can submit it for them on their behalf, you can archive it as well. So I would recommend always sealing those questionnaires off after they've been completed so they can't be amended anymore. So that's it. That's how you can create an organiser very, very quickly in TaxDome. And as always, if you've got comments, put those in the comment section and I'll always do my best to answer. And otherwise, I'll catch you at the next one.